In this season's second game at Tottenham Hotspur in London, the Broncos and Jets square off, and I have Denver coming out on top 26-18. The Jets defense is allowing 8.1 yards per attempt this season when they don't blitz, and on unblitzed downs, well, Bo Nix ranks 5th best in the NFL with 877 passing yards.
We're going to have to go score a touchdown. It is what it is.
The Jets defense does not have a takeaway yet this season. All 31 other teams have at least 2. And the Jets offense, well, they have a giveaway in every game. They have 8 overall.
Allen makes a man miss in the backfield, breaks a tackle, lost the football. He fumbled it near the goal line, and the Dolphins have it.
The Rams head to Baltimore for a matchup with the Ravens. I have Los Angeles winning this game 27-20. Matthew Stafford paces the league with 12.8 yards per attempt when targeting the slot this season. That is 3 full yards more than any other qualified quarterback. And many of the Ravens' defenders who would potentially stop those slot passes from being completions, well, they are injured. That would be Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, and others. Carolina hosts Dallas in a game where I forecast the final score to be 28-24 Cowboys. Dak Prescott has 32 completions of 10-plus air yards this season, which is tied for 3rd in the NFL. However, the Panthers are 2-0 at home.
Let's go.
The Colts host the Cardinals in a matchup where I forecast the home team, Indianapolis, to win 28-20. The Colts are scoring 32.6 points per game. That's 2nd in the NFL behind only the Lions. The Cardinals have lost 3 straight after a 2-0 start. Their wins came against the Saints and the Panthers. However, last week's blown lead of 21-6 against the Titans could potentially leave a bad taste in their mouth.
Dean Marcado dropped the football as he was going into the end zone.
The Seahawks head to Duval for a matchup with the Jaguars. My model forecasts Seattle to win by 1 point, 24-23. Sam Darnold has completed 32 of 45 passes downfield. Those are the 10-plus air yarders for 700 yards, 6 touchdowns with only 1 interception this season. He has a 143.8 passer rating and a 71.1 completion percentage, which are both the highest in the NFL on such throws. However, the Jags defense will make it tough on him. They already have 7 interceptions on downfield passes, and of course, they lead the league in turnovers with 14. The Chargers head to South Florida for a matchup with the Dolphins. My model says Los Angeles gets the road win by 3 points, 24-21. Now, the Chargers are contending with a slew of injuries to their top players: Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, Khalil Mack, Omarion Hampton. However, the Dolphins' run defense is very vulnerable. They're allowing 174.2 rushing yards per game. That is last in the NFL by 10 yards. 2 teams coming off of important wins square off in New Orleans when the New England Patriots come to town. I have the away team, Pats, winning 24-20. Well, Drake May has averaged 8.4 yards per attempt when facing 4 or fewer pass rushers this season. That's 2nd most in the league.
Touchdown, Patriots!
Now, the Saints, they blitz at the 10th highest rate. So perhaps one of the ways this defense could look to contain some of what the Patriots offense has shown is by using the blitz.
Got a chance every week now. Let's get after him next week.
In the AFC North, the Steelers and Browns square off in a game where I have Pittsburgh winning 23-16. The Steelers are coming off of a bye, and they're facing a rookie in his 2nd start in Dylan Gabriel. They're also getting healthier on their defense, and Pittsburgh is already up 2 in the loss column in the division, which could open up an even bigger lead because the Ravens play the Rams and the Bengals play the Packers. Now, Quinshon Judkins for the Browns has faced a stacked box on 65% of his attempts in Week 5 with Dylan Gabriel at quarterback. Now, when he faced the stacked box, he had 3.5 yards as his average, only 53 yards. And when he had a light box, so 7 or fewer, 8 rushes, 57 yards for a 7.1 average. Now, part of this is due to Dylan Gabriel averaging just 5.8 yards per attempt, so it was just more crowded closer to the line of scrimmage anyways. However, let's see if Quinshon Judkins can handle what the Steelers are giving him. The Raiders host the Titans in a matchup where I forecast Las Vegas to win 24-19. Let's look at Ashton Jeanty because he has some really interesting splits with his rushing. Now, when he rushes to the outside, he has a 60.5 rushing success rate. That's the 2nd highest mark among all running backs who have at least taken 30 carries. On inside runs, his success rate is just 25%, which is 2nd lowest among that same group. The Packers host the Bengals in a game where I forecast the home team, Green Bay, to win 31-18. Micah Parsons ranks 4th in the NFL with 26 pressures this season. And by the way, the Packers have already had their bye. The Bengals are allowing a 38% pressure rate, which is 25th in the NFL.
Gonna get sacked. That is a safety.
The Niners travel to Tampa for a matchup with the Buccaneers. I forecast Baker Mayfield and company to come out on top 26-24. Emeka Egbuka has 25 receptions, 445 receiving yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns this season. He is just the 4th player in the Super Bowl era with 20 or more receptions, 400 or more receiving yards, and 5 or more receiving touchdowns in their first 5 career games played. Here are the other ones: Jamar Chase, Terry McLaurin, and Randy Moss. The Chiefs host the Lions on Sunday Night Football in a game where I forecast Kansas City to come out on top by 1 point, 25-24. Jared Goff does lead the NFL, averaging 14.9 yards per attempt on intermediate passes. He's 23 of 32 for 378 yards and 3 touchdowns on these 10-19 air yarders. The Chiefs' defense allows 10.6 yards per attempt on such passes, which ranks 29th in the NFL. In the first Monday night matchup of Week 6, the Bills and Falcons square off in Atlanta in a game where I forecast Buffalo to win 30-23. The Bills' offensive line has allowed the lowest pressure rate in the league this season. It's just 22%. However, the Falcons, they do rank 7th best in pressure rate at 39% this season. Strength versus strength matchup in this one. In the second game of our Monday night doubleheader for Week 6, the Commanders host the Bears in a game where I forecast Washington to win 26-23. Jaden Daniels has scrambled on 21% of his dropbacks this season. That is the highest rate in the NFL. He's earned 94 rushing yards when running on these scrambles. And the Bears defense, they have not been too generous to opposing scramblers. They've allowed just 46 rushing yards on those scrambles, which is 7th best in the NFL.